Well, it is officially hate week. What's going on, everybody? This is Gen716, and today we got to preview this Alabama versus Auburn football game, guys. We got to do it. The biggest game of the year. I can't state it enough, guys. The biggest game of the year for Alabama so far. This is the last regular season for both Alabama and Auburn. This is the Iron Bowl, the most important, most heated game in Alabama, and arguably one of the greatest rivalries in all of sports. So, yes, ladies and gentlemen, get your popcorn ready for Saturday because it is going to be a good one. Auburn's going to go into this game with an advantage over Alabama. They're going to go into an advantage with, number one, is going to be the quarterback play. Now, Mac, I don't know. Is Bo Nix better than Mac Jones? I don't know. That's something that you guys can tap away in the comment section about. But one thing that Bo Nix does have that Mac Jones doesn't have is that he has experience going against really good football teams, right? LSU, Georgia, Florida, Oregon. He's went up against four really good football teams and four pretty good defenses. Now, Bo Nix, he's not the greatest thrower of the football, and that's definitely that's an advantage that Alabama I think has. I think Mac Jones is definitely a better passer right now than Bo Nix, but Bo Nix can make plays. We've seen Bo Nix make plays against all four of those teams that I just named, whether it was with his feet, whether it was just with his, playmaking ability, or or whether it was sometimes it's with his arm. He can make plays, and Gus Malzahn is one of the best play callers in all of college football. I think at this point he definitely knows what he's working with Bo Nix and the offensive personnel that he has. So he's definitely going to dial up a lot of trick plays, and he's going to try to get Alabama off guard, and that's honestly an advantage for Auburn. This Alabama defense this is probably the most undisciplined Alabama defense so far in the Nick Saban era. I mean, let's just call it how it is. It's not a bad defense like everyone is over-exaggerating. It's the worst defense in the Nick Saban era. But, still, Alabama still has a top 25. They still have a top 25, top 30 defense, which isn't bad at all. It's not to the standards of what everyone expects Alabama to be, and it's always in the top 10 or top 5. But still, top 25, somewhere on that top 30 mark, that's not bad at all. But, and of course, we all know the talent level that the Alabama defense has is good. But they're extremely young on the defensive side of the ball. And this is a defense that has been caught off guard a lot, whether if it was just the play calls are not getting through the defense, the linebackers are, because they're in charge sometimes of the play calling. It's just been confusing. The secondary has looked confused all year round. Just a whole bunch of substitution infraction penalties because Alabama loves to substitute. They've been misaligned on the defensive side of the ball. And Gus Malzahn, he takes advantage of those opportunities. His job is to try to confuse the defense with the looks that he gives you, right? Because the plays that Auburn will show are the plays that Alabama will never see, that they won't see on film. And I think at this point Nick Saban knows that. But with the type of defense that he has and just the youth and inexperience that he has going against Gus Malzahn, Gus Malzahn's going to do whatever it takes to get that in his favor. An advantage for Alabama is going to be the offense. The offense is extremely dangerous. The personnel, extremely dangerous. I think that, battle between really Gus Malzahn and Steve Sarkisian, I think it's equal. Both of them are really great play callers. But obviously, Alabama has the advantage offensively when it comes to the personnel, right? Devontae Smith, I think Henry Ruggs going to be playing his game. But if not, you still got Jalen Waddle. You still got Jerry Jeudy there. Obviously, you got the offensive line, which is a Joe Moorhead semifinalist, right? As far as the best offensive lines in all of college football, right? Jedrick Willis, Alex Leatherwood, Landon Dickerson, Evan Neal, who's played phenomenally well as a true freshman. Obviously with Deontay Brown there, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson with the powerful run game. It's super obvious at this point, guys, that Alabama they have the better personnel than Auburn does. But Auburn has the advantage when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. They have an advantage when it comes to that defensive side of the ball. And it's going to be a real battle to see. Alabama's offense versus Auburn's front seven and their defense. Derek Brown, Marlon Davidson, Big Cat Bryant. I mean, those guys are going to lead the charge. This is a very, very experienced Auburn defensive line. This is a very potent and very just dangerous defensive front. I mean, these guys, can get after the quarterback. These guys can stop the run. These guys can frustrate the crap out of an offense, right? And what Auburn is so really, really good at that Alabama has had struggles with is with their red zone red zone defense, right? Auburn is great when it comes to the red zone. So Alabama, they can move the ball up down the field, but at the end of the day, you got to get the points. And we all know Alabama doesn't have the greatest kicker in the world. I will go with Auburn any other day when it comes to their kicking game. Alabama has a struggle with that. So Alabama, they're going to have to score touchdowns. And LSU, right, as many points as they're scoring, they only scored 23 points on Auburn when LSU was at home, right? And LSU had Joe Burrow. Alabama's going to come into this game with Mac Jones. So I'm actually pretty confident that I think Alabama can move the ball on Auburn. My question is that when they get into that red zone, can they score in that red zone? Even with Najee Harris, even with the offensive line, you're going against a dangerous Auburn defensive front that might be the best in all of college football. Auburn, I wouldn't be surprised at all if their secondary just locks, just try to man you up, try to lock you down, be physical, try to throw out the timing so that with Mac Jones, because really Mac Jones, he hasn't seen a defense that throws off the timing with the RPO with the RPO and the spread concepts. He's never faced a defense like that. So I'm very interested to see what could possibly happen. As far as Mac Jones, right? Speaking of Mac Jones, how is he going to fare? A lot of pressure is going to be put on Mac Jones. This game not only decides who potentially goes into the college football playoffs, but again, this is bragging rights. Whether Alabama gets into the playoffs or not, this game is bragging rights, right? If Alabama wins, guess what we're going to do? We're going to front on Auburn all year round. If Auburn wins, they're going to front on Alabama 365 days of the year, even without Tua Tagovailoa, because I know that will be our excuse. But they don't care. They're going to make it a huge deal for 365 days that Auburn whooped Alabama's butt. So there's a lot of pressure that's going to be on Mac Jones, and he's only played against Arkansas and Western Carolina, which are two of the worst college football teams in the nation. So it's going to be very interesting to see with Mac Jones, with the personnel that he has, with the different type of looks that Auburn will that Auburn will give you. What will Mac Jones do when the pressure is on, when the game is potentially, when Alabama doesn't have a lot of success when it comes to maybe moving the ball or even scoring a lot of points? Can Mac Jones lead the charge, right? Because this is going to be the biggest game. And again, this game can determine if Alabama gets into the playoffs, right? If Alabama blows out Auburn, I think Bama's going to get in. Or they're going to have or at least maybe a 60%, maybe even 70% shot of getting in. But if it's a low-scoring game, Mac Jones is having struggles and just having difficulties, who knows? The committee will look at that and say, hey, Bama, you don't deserve to get in, right? Auburn at this point, they have nothing to lose. So I don't think a lot of pressure is really going to be put on Auburn. But despite that, they're gonna play their butts off. And again, sometimes a team that doesn't have anything to play for, that's the most dangerous. Another key thing that I want to talk to you guys about is that Alabama's never beaten Auburn when they're ranked in Jordan-Hare, at least during the Nick Saban era. It's never happened during Nick Saban. He's never beaten Auburn on the road when they're ranked. So that's definitely something to really take a look at right there. It's going to be a dangerous game. It's going to be a very, very dangerous game, but it's going to be a very, very fun game. Again, Hate Week is here, and I'm very, very excited to see what Mac Jones, what Alabama, what Nick Saban will do against a Gus Malzahn, Bo Nix, and a very, very dangerous Auburn front seven, which might be the best front seven in the country. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. If you guys want to stay in contact with your boy as far as videos goes, you can hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications so you guys won't miss a video of mine. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'll have my social media. I'll have that in the link below the description. And yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. So anyway, guys, Hate Week is officially here. I'm excited for Alabama and Auburn. And man, it's going to be a very, very fun ride. Hopefully, we don't lose. Hopefully, Alabama doesn't lose. But, to the Auburn fans out there, good luck to you guys as well. So anyway, guys, that's all I got for you guys today. This is Gen 716. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.